Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first off-season episode of Grip Lock Foundation Disc Golf Weekly Podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner.
What up?
So
My favorite time of the year.
Let me walk you through how the off-season's going to work. We will first off, top of the episode every time, update you on off-season movement, if there is any. This week, there's a few small ones. As the off-season progresses, hopefully they'll get more electric. If there are any storylines, we'll go over them after that. We might also... sometimes we're going to have a random Edwin stat of the week.
Ooh,
where
that's
he's going to backwards
addition.
analyze some of the stuff. So we'll throw that stuff in. There will still be a Trevor's Trivia. And then the second half of the show, we'll have our In the Bag, which is for us, basically, we give a topic, and you pick topics that you want to put in your disc golf bag. So put in your bag you want to take with you.
Should I develop a segment for the offseason?
They're basically top
Grip Locked called Konner's Corner.
You could. Like some other shows, less popular shows have called it like a Mount Rushmore type segment, like who's on your Mount Rushmore. I like
one's
In the
heard of
Bag.
that, though.
Yeah, no one's heard of that.
Mount Rushmore's gone now.
Huh? Okay. But before we get into the episode, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Hey, everyone. That's my script. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Every man knows the unbeatable feeling of a fresh barbershop shave. I unfortunately don't. But I'm assuming the rest of this is going to tell me I do because I've used Manscaped, so maybe I do. Now, what if I told you no longer had to wait weeks or even months between appointments to experience it? Introducing Manscaped's latest release, the Chairman Pro Package. This all-in-one set includes everything you need to recreate the luxury of a professional shave right at home. Whether you're after that daily, silky, smooth finish or prefer to maintain a rugged 5 o'clock shadow, the Chairman Pro Package has you covered. Head over to manscaped.com and join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using code GRIPLOCKED for 20% off and free shipping. The main feature of this bad boy is the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver. It has two skin-safe blade heads. Two skin-safe blade heads. One is the skin-safe 4-blade foil for that close, smooth shave, and the other one's the skin-safe stubble trimmer for when you want to keep it a bit of that rugged look. Both heads have skin-safe technology to help reduce razor burn and irritation so your skin feels smooth and comfortable. And one of the standout features of this thing is the Flex Adjust technology that ensures a superior shave by allowing both blades and the pivoting head to seamlessly adapt to the unique contours of your face, like Konner's chiseled jawline under there. We'll find that out.
You have one of those
later. But the Power Shave Gel, but that's not all. The package also comes with, when you shave, we'll find it. And the package also includes a Power Shave Gel to get the ultimate wet shave experience. This non-irritating lubricating formula specifically designed to work with the Chairman Pro, providing a smooth, comfortable shave. And let's not forget about the Face Shave Soother, which is an aftershave serum that's a game changer. You use it after shaving to hydrate your skin and soothe any post-shave irritation. It helps reduce redness and defend against ingrown hairs and razor bumps. So get the Chairman Pro Package today and experience a shave that's as smooth as you deserve. It has everything you need to keep your face looking and feeling at its best, all in one box. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code GRIPLOCKED over at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with code GRIPLOCKED at manscaped.com. Basketball fans, it's that time of the year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. This season, every game matters, and BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the game. And it's just not the NBA. BetOnline also has odds from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to political props. Head over to the website today and get on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
LeBron James.
Off-season movement. We got two here so far.
Particularly funny that it's considered off-season movement. I mean, it is, but it's really funny.
It is. Okay. So the first one we have is Carter Aarons has moved yet again. So he originally, I think, was with DD. He then signed with Lone Star last season. He was a part of the mid-season, towards the end of the season, Lone Star Exodus that Chandler Kramer was also a part of, and I believe Leah Senegeni. And he has now signed a deal with Flexline who appears to be a retail store at a course in Washington. Now, I don't know if this is going to be his only sponsor for next year. That hasn't been announced.
Is he from that area?
Yes.
He is from that area.
Fort Telecom. I believe he said it's his home course. He grew up playing it. So this is the first of what I expect
10 years, 10 mil?
This year with mid-level pros signing with retailers as their main sponsor.
I don't think I would consider Carter Aarons a mid-level pro.
Mid to low. I was trying to be generous, Trev.
I think he's got potential to be a high-level pro, but he was not good last year.
I'm just expecting this from a lot of players this offseason where their announcement is they're going open bag, whether by their choosing or not. Now, like I said, we don't know for Carter specifically if this is going to be his only sponsor next year, but this is the only one that he's announced so far. So I think he played the rest of the season post Lone Star unsponsored.
Hey, it's early days.
And so now we got Flexline Discs. So I think if you're at Fort Stellacom, I believe is the name of the course, you can check them out.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Support them.
Next year is going to be the year of people wearing Hecka logos on their shirts because you're going to have, like, if you're Carter Aarons or any of these players, thank you so much, any of these players that can't, like, lock in the big manufacturer deal, you're just going to try and collect those things like Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
I mean,
might as well.
Go get the local retailer, try to find a chalk bag, try to find a hat. Like
go get like 20 companies to pay you $50 a month.
Christian Tatar's socks in a can.
Yeah.
Like I'd wear Christian Tatar socks in a can right on the front of the shirt. You get paid
that phrase.
You get paid you get paid $100 a week or something like that.
They're gonna pay you $400 a month to put Christian Tatar socks in a can.
If you sell enough, it's
thank you to my sponsor. Thank you to my sponsor, Christian Tatar socks in a can.
Once again, no free promo, but she was running some sale on her, and I saw it on Instagram.
Sales on them?
It was like, well, it was on her whole site.
Oh,
for two things that I saw that were important. Number one, that meant that the socks in a can were on a sale, so I was like,
did you buy them?
I didn't, but I thought about it.
Are they still on
Number
sale?
two, I need you to go ahead and go to her apparel. There's a t-shirt where they make her like a superwoman, which is like fine, but like one of us has to wear that at some point. There it is.
No.
Somebody's got to wear that.
No.
Somebody's got to wear that.
They just photoshopped her head onto Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Which like I in a weird way, like it's if I were going to like a tournament and she was like in the lead and like you were wearing that like in support, it's kind of a fun time.
Yeah.
But like just having to wear that on the daily.
What's 36 euros to USD?
It's like $43.
I'm gonna use the
39.
Oh wow.
Hey, wow.
Euros are down right now.
US is strong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Christian Tatar socks in a can as a mini. Like I'm gonna leave them in the can.
Oh, that would be sick.
You're gonna pay 20.
They in like a tuna can?
Like 20. They're basically
What do I have to do right now on the podcast to earn a socks in a can? Just give me like a challenge or a task because I really want them.
What's something hard? Oh,
I can just guess something. Like
well,
it doesn't
if
have
someone
to be.
gets Style Selects today.
Okay.
Wow,
The pro
that's
level
huge.
can
Well, this
socks
will do.
are on the line.
No, if someone gets Style Selects, you get the pro level can and the crew
No
neck.
way.
Wow.
The crew neck?
Both.
Okay.
So it's like we're talking about like a $80 value here.
This
That's
is the
crazy.
Christian Tatar
Speaking of,
experience.
where's Silas? When
He
Silas comes
died.
back out, we have to remind him to get his Silas.
There's a lot on the line today.
Well, the Christian Tatar experience is up for grabs.
Can socks are just too funny.
And then the next offseason movement announcement is another one that I expect to see some more of this offseason. Was Tim Barham has officially retired from touring. And he is now working at Discraft in a position that seems to be tied to the factory store.
Yeah.
They put out which first off, props to Discraft for backing their guy.
Totally.
Because
he's been with them for like 20 years.
You could kind of tell, at least to me it seemed in the video that was put out, this position was just created
Well, here's the
like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Whose name is going to be on the crank then?
I thought he was on the Buzz SS.
He was for a while, but
the
he
Buzz
wasn't.
SS and the crank.
No,
I
he was a
believe.
Tour Series Buzz SS is what I'm thinking of.
The interesting thing, we're gonna obviously we've already kind of seen this dynamic in disc golf in like the years past, like guys who retire. A lot of them, I mean, look at a lot of the staff at these companies, and yeah, a lot of them come from the tour and whatnot. But the manufacturers are going to be put in an interesting position for the next decade or so, where you're gonna have a lot of pros like a Tim Barham who was able to do the disc golf thing for quite some time.
Survived.
And that's great. But then you get out of there and all you've done is the disc golf thing for a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tim has any other experience, but the very first thing you're gonna do is say, hey guys, is there any way I can work with you guys? And the manufacturers are gonna be put in a spot where like some of them will be able to find positions like Discraft. They do pretty well, and Tim's been with them a long time, and they were like able to give him a job, which is awesome and so cool from Discraft that they're able to support their guy. But some of them won't, and it's gonna be a tough spot. Where
okay, well, what are your skills?
where then somebody's gonna like be like, hey, can you give me a job? Like this is all I've really got, and you're like, sorry, you just can't hire anybody. Like it's definitely like. For any disc golfer that's going to stop touring, it's the first thing that comes to your mind, right?
Yeah.
So, that's just going to happen a lot. So this won't be the first pro we see hired, and I'm sure they'll be...
No, this is the first. This won't be well, I guess it's not technically the first.
Well,
this is the first this year.
And I think next year...
Won't be the last.
Well, I think next year, don't we already have
Brody
on... Don't we already have Brody on payroll? He's going to work the front store?
Yeah. Brody's
He'll
gonna be
behind the counter.
Whenever Brody retires, he'll be the form critique guy up front.
That's so funny. That's a funny bit. Like, Brody, you and Tim Barham kind of in the same boat. Like, both just had to come crawling back. That's funny.
I was looking at Tim Barham. I think he said he.
The video was when you were mentioning like where he was like, so what are you gonna be? Bob's like, so what are you gonna be doing here, Tim? Almost like, like.
Well, I think Bob knew what he was gonna be doing. Yeah. I don't know Tim quite knew yet.
They had just come up with that idea.
Yeah, because it was my favorite thing. All disc golf companies do it.
I think
that, or at least most big ones, where they just. We just found this box of whatever in the back. Like, how did you not know that was in the back?
Can we agree?
You just
that's
found,
his job.
Yeah, like, but like Innova, I distinctly remember I bought like one of the cool Banshees I have. They were like, we found a box in the back of our warehouse. I was like, did you not do inventory last year?
Can we agree?
How'd you just find that box chilling back there?
Can we agree on this podcast that going forward, if anything great happens at Discraft business-wise, we all just say, that's a Tim Barham effect. Tim Barham's at work. Tim Barham's moving over there in Michigan.
Love it.
That's how that's how it's gonna be around here.
Tim Barham.
We're gonna make sure Tim Barham is getting the credit he's due.
Yeah, it's Tim time.
Yeah, his specific role seems to be tied to the factory store. That's what they were alluding to. He's gonna be putting some goodies up on the factory store.
Paul wins a major next year. Tim Barham's been moving over.
That's the Barham breakthrough.
That's the Barham breakthrough right there. The Barham breakthrough.
So that's the only offseason movement that's been announced so far. We'll keep you.
We're
up
off
to
a hot start on movement.
We'll keep you up to date as the season rolls. There's a lot of big names that are up.
We went from the last few years announcing like $1 million deals, and this year it's going to be like, yeah, another player just got a job at Discraft.
Bobby Boucher just signed a freaking Gatorade sponsorship, as in he's delivering Gatorades to the local Food Lions.
Oh man.
All right, next up,
how many local retailers are going to get free shout outs this year because that's who are going to be signing some of these players?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah, Jackson's Bait and Tackle Shop down in Texas just picked up.
Jackson's Bait and Tackle.
Just picked a huge signing out of Texas.
That's wonderful.
The Disc Golf Pro
Corey
Tour.
Ellis is sweeping away the competition. By sweeping away, I mean he's now the janitor at Lowe's.
Maybe that's what we should. Maybe we should bring back. I think we did this once for In the Bag of like pros.
Like, what would they most likely
What would their job be if they weren't working?
No, we just went through a list.
That was an In the Bag. Wasn't
it
it
wasn't In the Bag. It was a list.
I think we might have just done a list. I think I just read you a name and y'all said, that should be a good In the Bag.
That's right.
That would be a great In the Bag.
Disc golf pros who seem like they should work a different job.
Yeah, and you just put what it is.
It's a good one.
That
is good.
Yeah, okay. Next thing that happened this past week was the Pro Tour announced the 2025 Q Series schedule.
Ooh.
The
Q Series exists basically as an additional way for players to earn their 2026 tour card. It's mainly for players who are trying to get on the tour, but it also serves for some lower level pros to fill their schedule a little bit and make some extra money.
About to go down in Florida?
I think so.
This year, because I would say like I think it's a kind of frisky this year. Like there's some players who maybe need to do well.
Well, it's a really, we've talked about this. The tour card doesn't really matter where we currently stand.
Yeah.
We're in the important early stages where like this is all has to be established for it to matter 5 years from now.
If you're high enough rated, you'll still get it.
But where we currently sit, you can get into most events. Sometimes all events. And there's also like sponsorship exemption stuff that can happen to where like the players who quote unquote like need to get their tour card somewhere, they're gonna be playing.
It's probably more so just annoying not to have it because you got to think about registering.
You got to think about
stuff.
And you also have to think about like which way, like how you're gonna get in and blah blah blah. So, but next year it looks like they're kicking it off with the Capital of Texas Open.
All-time great tournament name, Capital of Texas. Now we know from previous experience that the Pro Tour has done this with other events where the event will just be like, hey, we haven't picked out a name yet, and then they'll just throw something heinous down there. The Florida Open, does that sound familiar to anybody?
Why wouldn't they have just done the Austin Open?
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe they just wanted to make it obvious. Just say like TBA.
I think. Here's my thing.
If it's actually the Capital of Texas Open, that's crazy.
With the Disc Golf Pro Tour full schedule, I can understand like let's put the effort in, get a title sponsor, come back and change it. Q Series, I'm saying it's the Capital of Texas
Capital
Open.
Of Texas Open.
Yeah.
I think I might need some Capital of Texas Open merch.
The CTO.
That sounds better.
CTO.
So just give everything
Silas, we need
the COTO.
I forgot to give you the Silas.
Yeah, it's the Kodo.
The Kodo. COTO. We also have next up, Konner, you might be going to this one.
This is a great one here.
Ogden, Utah. Armpit of Utah.
The pizza capital of the world.
We might have to go to the Beehive Classic.
The Beehive Classic. out in Ogden, Utah. Actually, that kind of sounds like I might die out there.
Dude, this is promised land.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Connor's worst nightmare, Ogden, Utah, Beehive Classic.
Either by the bees or by walking the historic street. One of the ways I'm dying.
Historic 7th Street.
What was it? Yeah, you gotta go
40
see it.
something street. Yeah,
You gotta go see historic whatever.
I gotta know what the name.
You gotta
was.
go see the historic street out there, guys. There's an antique shop.
Yeah.
Utah.
And a lot of statues that are all moving.
25th Street. It's historic 25th Street. It's got
Historic
4.6 stars out of 5.
Wow, people have really low expectations when they're in Ogden. Next up, we have the Brewster Ridge Open in June out in Jeffersonville, Vermont. That'll actually be a great time.
Wait, notice how close those events are. I guess it doesn't matter. They're on opposite sides of the country.
They're on the same weekend.
Yeah.
They're not even close together. They're just on the same weekend. They happen the same time.
Yeah.
Good point. Good call out, Trev. I wonder why they're on different dates.
Well,
so there's one in on a Saturday, one in on a Sunday?
Looks like it. Just, I guess, like
Weird.
their thought process is like it just doesn't matter because they're on opposite sides of the country.
But is that going Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the Beehive Classic? Why do I think they fixed that? I think they fixed one of these 2 dates and it's a later press release. Let me actually verify that because I feel like I got a press release.
If we miss out on the Beehive Classic, if we show up at the wrong day in Ogden, not good. Not good. We gotta be on.
Not good at all.
Oh no, it's the Kansas City Wide Open that adjusted their dates.
That's right.
Because they are now in April. But the Kansas City Wide Open, which is a full tour event, adjusted their date from ending on a Saturday to ending on a Sunday. That's what I was thinking of. But
What course are they playing at in Ogden?
it doesn't say on here.
That's a really good question, Connor.
I'm
Let's
wondering
see
if
we
it's
can figure that out.
because we went out there to play the Fort.
Oh yeah, they're probably playing. Well,
Okay.
is that in Ogden?
Well, that's why we were there.
It's near it.
It's
Is
near
it?
it.
Yeah.
Is it close enough to where they'd?
But it also is in June, so if they get the flooding situation again, they're not going to be playing the Fort.
Fort. Yeah, that's the current plan is Fort.
I hope it doesn't.
But remember, they had the upper course that no one told us about until it was too late.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So who knows? Anyways, next down the line we have the RIP Canadian Nationals, which is September 11th through the 14th.
Heck yeah.
They're going to be trying to add more to this, so that's why right now you have May, a few events in June, and then it jumps to September because as the A-tier schedule was announced, this was announced alongside it, and now they're basically saying any other A-tier is welcome to apply, blah blah blah. So this should get it expanded.
Does
Do we need to
Q-
get a Dirty Q series in Virginia?
Does
Maybe.
the Q series stand for qualify?
Yeah,
They
qualifying
took it
series.
from the PGA.
It's the qualifying series.
They have something called Q School.
And then the final one, I like this name, October 24th through 26th, the Mary Sunshine House Classic.
That's fun.
I don't know what the Mary Sunshine House is, but that just sounds like a good
Sounds like an
tournament name.
Isaiah 117 house kind of vibe.
But I like when you put classic at the end.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a big
It's classy.
yes.
I'm a big classic guy.
We do have 2 classics,
He's a
2
classic
open and a
man.
nationals, which is a great distribution so far
Yeah.
of names. I still one of my favorites that only gets used once is Challenge, the Des Moines Challenge.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now, in more thrilling news, news,
Let's talk law.
let's talk a little law.
Talk a little law.
So, if you haven't seen this, basically this is MVP discs
Versus the United States.
Essential discs. MVP disc sports, I should say, versus essential. There's not actually any lawsuit or anything like that going on
Yet.
but it could lead to one, and that's why we're here to talk about it early. So
We should ask if we
essentially,
can serve, if we can be the people that show up and
this
serve them.
is the backstory, right? The MVP got their prototype for the new Simon Line balance approved.
Yeah.
When that got approved,
Looks sick.
this other company that's been around for a while apparently kind of came out the woodworks. No offense, but I had never heard of them. Essential Discs, and they apparently already have a disc called the Balance that they got approved earlier this year.
Okay.
May.
So it was kind of posted out on the MVP fan pages and stuff like that, and people were like, did MVP not realize? How did the PDGA approve both names? Blah, blah, blah. 2 discs with the name Balance, that doesn't happen. Typically one has priority over the other, so on and so forth. Well, shortly thereafter, MVP posts a statement on the Balance, and this is when things start getting interesting. So the reason the Balance is approved as a prototype is it doesn't fly the way it's intended. They wanted it to be slightly more overstable. So they got the prototype approved so they could release a small amount here, and the purchasers will have it while they work out the kinks. But they also got the prototype approved for, I think, legal reasons, as they kind of explained later. But right now it flies closer. This is just disc information. Right now it flies closer to a runway or a pyro. They're going for something a little bit less stable. So first off, this sounds like the perfect MVP disc. I'm very excited to try this thing.
Okay.
I am as well.
But
Gyro not.
MVP states that
Gyro
they
not.
believe they have achieved the trademark priority application date for the word balance and use of disc golf, and they published this thing so that people can now look at when they put it up. So
Oh, they showed their work.
Yeah, so they applied for the word balance as a trademark in relation to disc golf December 14th of 2023.
Discs for playing disc golf.
So they basically, when they signed Simon, it was announced in January of 2024, but when they signed Simon, they went through and like, hey, we're going to give you a Simon line. Let's go ahead and trademark all these names that we think we want to use for it. Yeah. So time lapse, pixel, balance, they went ahead and got the trademark for it way back in December.
So wait, are we about to do a little bit of sleuthing? Can we search other trademarks?
No, because this one, you have to publish it. So since it's applied, they published, the application published date was August 27th.
Okay.
So the trademark is hidden unless you choose to publish it.
I was about to say.
They published it, and it's basically said the reason for publishing is because of competition. So that's the reason they published it. So they didn't publish it till August.
Fair enough.
But regardless, so MVP registered for it in December, and then I believe it's in May or June, Essential Disc comes out with the balance. MVP statement says, we reached out to the company to let them know the situation. We assumed it was a misunderstanding on their part and that we'd be able to find amicable solution after a quick conversation. However, even after explaining the situation to them, the company was unwilling to budge as they felt their situation gave them priority to the name. As you might expect, we were unable to find agreement over the next months, which brings us to here. We have the utmost confidence in our registered trademark rights and fully expect our pending trademark to be registered. It's an unfortunate situation that we tried our best to avoid, but we need to actively protect even our pending intellectual property, especially for something as important as the Simon line. Releasing this to the market is our next step in the process. As such, expect more news about the Simon line balance prototype in the near future. So that's what I'm saying is the approval process in this release seems to be a legal play of like, well, we need to establish.
Yeah.
Because I think I could be misspeaking here. I think from reading on Facebook and stuff that it seems that a part of the trademark and like litigation or legal process of that is when the common disc golfers hear the word balance, what do they think of?
Yeah.
And so I think that's why if MVP releases it, they know the majority of people are going to think of MVP, not Essential Discs, which will farther aid them in their case.
Yeah, I would say the key thing here is on this decision, how much does, like in my mind, I think this will go well for them as well, is if you beat the Essential Disc to the punch in your application for that, like so far ahead in advance, I don't really see a universe in which they don't get that trademark. And then once they're approved that, it's scorched earth, because once you get a trademark or a copyright, you can defend that thing it'll be an incredibly easy defense.
Yes.
Because it's literally another disc. Like, so that'll just be the key, is like, I know how effective copyrights and trademarks are and how you can defend them, but I'm not super knowledgeable on like the process of getting them granted and how much it changes when something was thrown in the midst. I can't imagine it can hold up, though.
Maybe part of the annoying things is you don't have any power over it until it is officially approved.
Maybe I don't know.
Well, I don't think they can enforce anything. I mean, they can go to Essential Disc and be like, hey guys, but like, I think they'll probably end up getting it, and in which case, because like, it's an expensive process as well.
Yeah. But can you get
expensive.
the trademark if it's already in use? You can still get a trademark for it.
Well, yeah, and like we were saying, the other disc was named after they had submitted for their trademark application.
Yeah,
well after. So I think that that's not. I don't think that'll hold up for Essential Discs. I don't think they can make any. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's like, hey, it's free game until like something goes along. But like even, I don't know what it means to the trademark. People who are like looking at it being like, okay, Essential Disc is a company that barely has any market share in disc golf at all. Most people don't know about it, whereas MVP is a powerhouse.
Yeah. So I just Googled, and so while the trademark application's pending, you have limited rights and can't enforce the intellectual property. However, you can use the pending trademark to deter others away from using it, so which is what they're trying to do. The trademark registration process typically takes 8 to 10 months, so we're in month 11 right now. Once your trademark's registered, though, you can retroactively enforce it.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
So, like, if they get it approved in December, even though they applied a year ago, they've owned the trademark for the full year.
Okay, so in that case, Essential Disc is cooked if they get it. Yeah.
This is interesting. So actually, let me read this first, because Essential Disc put this
Yeah, I hadn't
out.
seen this.
Okay, this is what I wanted to know.
This is funny to me. It starts off with, it's an unfortunate situation about the balance being approved by a second company for PDGA. We've been advised by our lawyers not to make a public statement at this time, despite the misinformation that's coursing around the internet. So here's their public statement. Here's what we can share.
Who is your lawyer?
From our inception in 2010, which how have they been around 14 years and we haven't heard of them? Have y'all heard of Essential Disc
No, I
before
have not
this?
heard of Essential Disc.
Maybe, like in whisper.
Maybe,
like
or maybe during a
in
game,
passing.
whenever you're like, is this a real
okay,
company?
I
I,
can see that.
I need to get eyeballs. Like, keep reading.
Here's what we can share. From our inception in 2010, we have been a supporter of the other company to the extent of still having their original patent-pending ions from our first order that our son throws. We have run events and designed courses under their name and direction. They have never made our products and at this point never will. They chose to decline any negotiations and made demands instead. If they reached out today, we would still pick up the phone and talk. However, now is in the hands of our lawyers and theirs. Their trademark for balance is not registered at this point. However, you want to see a sweet father and daughter ace on the same hole with the balance, you can visit, and then it goes on tags, blah, blah. So that's pretty much it. Actually, there is at the bottom. This is more about Essential Disc. I didn't read past this. As a woman-owned small business, sorry, I kept saying she. As a woman-owned small business, we do this for the love of the game and not for love of the profit. We run free leagues for our kids over the summer, work with clubs. So this is basically saying we're unable to answer public interviews until our lawyers decide the best interest. So this is basically saying like this is what we do.
Well, here's the thing. If you're Essential Disc, you are playing this 100% correctly. As long as it doesn't get you burnt, because
you're getting advertising.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no one had heard of it.
You need to
I can't
drag.
say no one. A very small portion of disc golf had heard of them prior to this. But now, a lot of people, especially people in the MVP sphere, know Essential Disc.
You can't possibly care that much about the name of the disc. But what you're going to get now is if you can drag this on as long as possible, and then let's say you make it. Let's say you've made it a few months of press, and then at the very end you kind of just like. You just kind of bail out and rename it.
The only tough part is I don't know who's making their discs, right? If they're getting them pre-made and pre-stamped, they could be sitting on a like ludicrous amount of disc stamped balance if they're not stamping in-house, which is pretty common for smaller companies. If you're not stamping in-house and it's coming shipped to you with the word balance stamped on it, that's a very expensive correction unless you just take some acetone and have a weekend and just
and that raises another question. Okay, so let's say, I mean, we have to assume that Essential Disc did not know they did not know about this. They couldn't.
Well, it seems that after they got it approved,
it looked like
is when MVP reached out.
Well, MVP's original statement, it said it was approved in May and then they caught it in June. So there's a month in between.
Is that what they said?
That's what they said in the original like things they put on their website.
Okay.
Now, we don't know if that was like late May to early June or whatever, but it could have been as much as a month. And what that means is there is a world in which Essential Discs like gets this thing approved, has already stamped 1,000 of them, like you said, and now they're defending because they're like, this is a
there's
huge
a world
asset.
where they might have stamped a lot more than 1,000.
Well, and
I've heard some like initial order of companies be like 20 to 30,000 discs.
And in my opinion, that sets a precedent that either man, that's really just unfortunate for them, or now every company needs to be getting copyright on their disc name, because what if the same thing happens to you?
So what if?
Well, every company should be, first off, something that important.
Not every company can pay. I mean, think about having to pay $10,000 potentially per mold you release. Like it's a
welcome to the world.
So is
I'm just saying. Well, let me just say for 50 years, nobody's done it.
Yes.
So, like, it's not like somebody should have been expected to do it.
MVP is being very smart here. Because the other thing that they could probably retroactively do is, okay, we'll be the good guy and we'll just negotiate a royalty play. You can't stamp farther discs with balance, and all the ones that currently exist, you owe us $2 off of everyone that sells because we own the rights to the balance. You have to give us that money.
That could be a move.
That's the type, like, copyrights and trademarks can make people a lot of money from that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Where
So
it's
is
like,
that
I
now,
own
like-
the name balance, so you retroactively have sold 2,000 of these. You owe us $4,000 from that, and then everyone you sell until you're out of your inventory, you owe us X, Y, and Z. Like, because the other thing is, if it gets defended, if they get it approved and it gets defended, they could just say, you can't sell those.
Yeah.
Period.
Because like the best case scenario now is if they haven't stamped the disc, you drag it out as long as you can, hopefully get away scot-free, change the name, and then everybody who doesn't like MVP maybe thinks about checking out your disc just to be like, haha.
Yeah.
And you name it like the Unbalanced.
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. Well, I do like MVP, but also I would definitely bag an essential disc balance right now. Like that's
Yeah,
electric.
it's electric.
It
That's
would be
the
electric.
original balance. This is the real balance.
New Balance versus Old Balance.
That's funny.
New
But
Balance.
so the way the copyright works or the trademark works, so are you not allowed to put the word balance on a disc at all?
No,
or
it
just
can't-
not allowed to name it the balance?
Well, their copyright. So whenever discgolf.law did a video on trademarks, like in disc golf a while back, and basically the way that he was explaining it was like it depends on what you're applying for, I think. But like what they had applied for, and you can go back to the link, Konner, but I think it was for discs in disc golf, right? Is that what it said?
I think it's in relation to disc
it says
golf. Discs for
playing
playing
disc golf.
Yes.
So I would think it would just apply to the name of the mold,
Because
probably
then
not
they
anything
could
with a stamp.
then they could just like sell them as these are balance stamped
Yeah, but
tide pools, whatever.
Whenever
you know.
once you get, but the problem is what happens is I think when you get a trademark like that, if somebody were to stamp another disc balance, you could potentially defend and be like, this is confusing and kind of utilizing our name to maybe trick a consumer. And I think you have quite a bit of power once you get that trademark. And so that's where
MVP is passionate about things being confusing.
well, there's a kind of a wild west. Yeah, there's kind of a wild west out there potentially. Like I remember there was something with
The Raptor. And the Raptor claw, like drying a disc.
right. Like if Discraft were to own like the Raptor name, and then like is now Dynamic able to stamp anything Raptor claw, like potentially
Well,
not.
also when you have like Ricky Raptor, like can you use Raptor
Right,
regards
like
to Ricky
it
at
can
all?
get a lot trickier. Like you would,
I'm going to trademark Paul Macbeth.
the
You know, one
world of
thing
disc
that's
golf, you get a
interesting-
lot. It'd be a lot harder to name discs. if
I
people
don't know
really
how to
started.
read this, but I don't see the word pending on here anymore, and I felt like I did the first time I looked at it. All I see under this is class static active. I swore I saw pending when I looked at this the first time.
True. Well,
Maybe
it wouldn't say active if it was pending, right? Because it wouldn't
Right
be
here.
active.
Maybe that's just a class stat. I wonder if it got approved. Reason for publication, published for opposition. That was there first before, yeah.
I feel like there would be an approval date with the case identifiers.
I feel like you'd be right.
You have application, public, like I think
Filing
there would be an
date.
approval date.
I felt like I saw pending the first time.
There
but
have to be a date of approval.
Surely.
See if you can. Maybe you can find a different trademark that has been approved.
Yeah, I think MVP publishes there. But anyways, MVP does this with like everything they do.
Yeah.
They get it trademarked.
No, that's good business practice. You
yeah,
definitely
because-
protect, especially with the Simon thing. Like they're
Because
trying to
now-
protect a big asset.
Because if they don't do this, Essential Discs already is getting free press. I mean, we're talking about him right now. But even farther, like Simon Lizotte is the biggest face of disc golf in a lot of aspects, especially on YouTube. And he's going to be promoting the word balance. And when you search disc, let me actually just search disc
Balance
golf
disc.
balance or
If
balance
you look
disc.
up essential disc balance, then the only first thing that pops up,
you're gonna have to go balance.
they're
disc
like
golf.
exercise things.
You're gonna get,
Yeah, if I go balance disc golf, let's just go balance disc golf disc
there you go.
and just see, because like if I search that,
Well, I saw an article.
balance mid range by Essential Disc comes up. MVP statement on the balance is there, but like regardless, you can find the balance disc
Yeah, I
pretty
don't even-
easily.
On their first run, they don't even have the word balance on there.
No, I think it just says first run. Yeah.
Well, then that's pretty easy for them.
Well, yeah. I just don't know how many. If
Unless
they're
it has
stamping it,
tooling
if
on
they're
it.
stamping it themselves, they're not in a.
It could have tooling.
They're not in a. Yeah, it could have tooling. That's a good point.
That would be a nightmare. That would be a big nightmare.
Slightly overstable
Okay.
mid range.
Trademark.
That's what they're-
550
Wait, is that what Essential has it as?
This is what a
Okay, here you
company
go.
that will not be named has it as.
So registered trademarks
But
of
that's
MVP.
the Essential disc
That's
one.
the essential. This is the essential disc is a
Okay,
550
so that's even
1.5.
funnier. It's like the same disc.
Oh, this is interesting. We can see what Simon Line's upcoming Simon Line discs are because they have their pending trademarks published on their site. So registered trademarks of MVP: Axiom, Axiom Disc, Black Hole, Fission, Gyro, Gyro X, Hive Disc Golf, MVP Disc Golf, Rover, Streamline, Streamline Discs.
So most of their names are not. It's
Trademarks pending registration.
just for the Simon line stuff.
Balance,
mostly.
but the Pixel's not even on here anywhere. Maybe it got declined because maybe it's too broad. Yeah, I know.
I gotta see more pictures of
Trademarks,
Balance.
pending registration, Balance, Bokeh. That's good.
The heck
I
is
like
the
that.
Bokeh?
That's a good
It's like
name.
if this is in focus and then you have lights in the background.
I
if you have
have
a shallow
heard.
depth of field, the lights will bokeh, like they get
Yeah.
like circles and blurry.
I've heard
Bokeh
that
is
name.
just like a blurry background.
Disc Station, Galaxy, Glow the Sport. That's fun. Gravity, Lens Cap. There's 2 more. Mirror, Orbital, Shutter. Another one. The Leading Edge, Voyager. So that's all their ones pending registration.
Forgot they're doing all camera theme.
Yeah.
For Simon because
Shutter's kind of fun.
Because I was like, okay, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the lens cap is about the stupidest disc name I've ever.
Unless it's
Lens
a glitch.
cap?
Imagine a glitch. It's called the
no,
lens cap.
it's so
I
dumb.
get behind that.
That's so stupid.
I get
Balance,
behind that.
The
balance
lens is-
isn't really a
the lens
camera
is
name.
fine.
Except for
Composition.
white balance.
They were arguing. They were saying like because of composition and balance, and when you're like balancing the frame.
lens
That's
is
a little
fine,
bit of
but
a stretch.
lens cap, that's a bit on the nose. That's pretty bad.
I'll throw the Shutter for sure.
Yeah, Shutter. That's a good name.
That's what I'm saying. You got to stay far enough away that like it doesn't
But they
just have to
might
be
have
a
just
camera word.
They might have just been like, these are all of ideas. Let's just file them all.
Essential disc.
It's really expensive, just file
essential
them all.
discs. Essential disc. Right now, I'm telling you that if you decide to rename the balance, you should call it the Shutter, but SHUDDER.
I don't know. I don't know if they want to get into that.
Call it the large lens cap.
I don't really want to get into that either. But anyways,
get into
so
that.
that's the details. We'll keep you informed as it goes on. If any more information comes out,
Can't wait for the planar track to come out.
we'll try to keep track of the essential disc and see, do they rename the balance or what happens? Who knows?
I'm
But
gonna-
it's exciting.
I'm glad
going
we
to-
got a good legal saga to kick off the offseason.
I am
That's
going to
good.
say that based off of the pictures, I don't mean this in an unkind way. Based
about
off
to
of
say
the
something
pictures
mean.
on their website, they definitely stamp them in house.
Okay.
It looks
Well, they might
design.
design them in house though.
Well, I'm just saying that a lot of these, there's like fallout on the stamps
funny to
for
me-
their posted picture.
Mm.
It looks like whenever we tried to hot stamp this.
When when I saw that was a shot at Silas, uncalled for.
That was all shot on everybody.
When I saw their discs originally, I was like, oh, is MVP making them? Like I saw one picture of a.
That'd be crazy.
But then they said the MVP's never made them, so I don't know.
the plastic looks really nice.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to get a little order of essential discs in.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I don't want to take any stance against MVP.
We're not taking a stance against them. We're just seeing what the balance is like.
Dude, they got an overstable approach disc called the Honey.
They scare me. Oh, they're cooked.
They're
Wait, is
cooked.
that what blocked out Clash? Because Clash had to change to the
Oh,
Wild
I bet
Honey.
it did, 'cause Clash
Is
had
that
honey.
Essential Disc entire plan? What else do they have?
Okay,
The Kong?
I'll read them all. Oh, the Kong. That's funny. The Solara,
Nobody wanted that.
Rain,
A lot of people might want that.
Yeah, that seems
Oxygen,
Interesting.
Reflection,
that's probably pretty popular.
Purpose, Balance,
Purpose.
Harmony, the Honey,
Where does honey-
Peace.
Where does honey and rain fit into this?
Peace?
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's all like
The rest of them make sense. They all are kind of going with that like
purpose, balance,
Yeah. They
harmony,
just chucked the
peace,
Oh, and honey?
That's a defensive
reflection,
honey and rain.
oxygen is kind of.
play. Oh yeah, I'm throwing my my oxygen here. No, guys.
On hole 2?
Is it going to get really hard to start coming up with disc names?
Hole 2
Yeah.
oxygen H2O.
We might just have
Dang.
to. We might have to just start playing a game where we have to like
Hang on.
we have to like pick a
Hole
disc
2
name
oxygen.
that hasn't been used and like search it up and see because like it's gonna
Is that Trevor's trivia for today?
no within like the you'd have to be like within the
I want a
realm
balance.
of
I want somebody to send me a balance. I'll bag it. I
All
want
right.
a balance.
It's time for the fan favorite segment, Trevor's Trivia, right after these messages.
Trevor
these
Trivia
massages.
with Trevor. Are we getting massages, Trevor?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing for Trevor's Trivia?
yes.
Dang. I've never had a real massage.
None have I.
Me neither.
I think my wife's like massaged my back before.
Whoa, Hunter.
Disgusting. So
I could use a leg massage really bad.
Oh, Hunter.
Anyone up?
yes.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay, today we're gonna be doing a little disc golf guess who.
You.
So the way this works is
It's Trevor.
I've got a disc and I've got a couple
What's
backups.
that
I don't know
gonna
how long it'll take for you to get one, but basically it'll go back and forth between Hunter and Konner, and you will get to ask me yes or no questions, just like playing Guess Who.
Oh, we're
Okay,
guessing a
and we're
disc.
guessing the disc.
And then at any given point, you can decide to use your turn to guess the disc, but if you guess wrong, you lose.
You die.
Yeah, understand.
Essential disc balance.
like I said,
MVP balance.
I've got 3 just in case we go through them quick, but we'll just see how it goes.
That's one, Trevor.
I'm
I
really
love
prepared.
discs. You know I love
Okay,
discs.
so
we can ask any question other than the disc name?
It has to be a yes or no question.
Well, I guess
yeah. But I'm saying we just can't ask the disc name.
Yeah.
Like,
But I
Right,
guess
you
you
can't say,
don't
"Is
want to
it
tip the
this?"
other
That's a
person off.
guess.
though.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
true. If you get too specific, you'll tip off the other person. Okay.
Is it a Discraft fairway driver? Just kidding.
We'll let Konner go first, and then if we get through this one, we'll have Hunter go first on the next one to make it even it out.
Okay. I will begin with
Actually, because going first could technically be a disadvantage. Go ahead.
in the scheme
Interesting.
of discs. Is this a slower disc?
No.
Has Paul Macbeth ever thrown this disc?
Yes.
Is this disc popular now?
Now remember, I can only answer yes or no.
Yes.
I'm going to
Interesting
say.
way to not answer only yes or no.
I'm going to say no.
Is this disc faster than a 9-speed?
No.
It's a Thunderbird.
No.
It's a T-Bird.
No. Oh! Doesn't matter. Hunter still won because Konner guessed wrong. first.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If you guessed wrong, the other person
What
wins.
was it?
Undertaker.
Oh.
9-speed on the dot.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say not popular anymore. It was, but if I had, you see what I'm saying? Like if I had to say yes or no, I think
fair.
yes would.
Isn't
be
it
best.
funny how whenever you said it has Paul Macbeth throwing this disc, we only thought about it.
Well, no, I thought once he said it wasn't popular now, that's why I thought T-Bird.
Oh,
Because
that makes sense.
T-Birds are probably selling a decent bit, but
I
they're
thought
not
for
at
sure
their
that
height.
I was so confident it was a Thunderbird.
Okay, we'll go to we'll keep moving on because that didn't take super long. So Hunter, you could ask first question on this one.
This is fun.
Has Brody Smith ever thrown this disc?
No.
Okay. Not
Oh, he giggled. He scoffed.
Brady's
In
only
the
ever thrown like 20
scheme,
molds to
in
my
the
knowledge.
scheme,
exactly. I was narrowing it down.
in the scheme
It's a good
of
question though.
in the scheme of discs, would you say this is a faster disc?
No.
Why do you keep asking in the scheme? Couldn't you just ask, is it a faster or slower disc?
Yeah.
I'll just just prefacing.
Okay.
He's probably.
Hey, I can do whatever I want
he's
with my question,
prefacing.
Hunter. So
It's true. He can, as long as he yes or no.
why do you lick your lips before asking your question?
That's how I think.
He's got to moisten.
That's how I think.
Moist.
Is it a mid-range?
No.
Has Paul Macbeth ever thrown this disc? Let me ask that just different. Has Paul Macbeth ever bagged this disc?
No.
Okay. Paul has probably thrown every disc.
Is this a trilogy disc?
No.
What was that?
Well, if it's not a trilogy disc, I mean, that's like 2/3 of the market. Are we all going to die?
I don't know I don't know what's going on. There's nothing back there.
Okay. It's not a trilogy disc, and it's not fast. Is this a Kickstarter disc?
No.
Okay.
Is there
Boreum.
one in the office right now? Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
What is there, like half a one in the office?
Oh no, I need to know his level of confidence. I know what room it's in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does the office count the whole building?
Yeah.
What
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, like the front unit
Yeah,
where
yeah,
we sell the
yeah,
discs.
yeah.
I had one in my head that if he would have said yeah really confidently, I knew what it was. And he didn't say yeah really confidently, so I'm passing.
Okay. Doesn't know what it is.
I like that.
Not trilogy. It's not a Boreum lift, and it's
Lift.
and it is in this building.
Yeah.
Is this disc in any of our bags?
No.
Okay.
Does Simon Lizotte currently throw this disc?
No.
Would you say that this is from one of the big, like 4 manufacturers?
Yes.
Okay.
I like this.
Has this disc ever won a world championship?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh no. I don't know what it is.
Okay, it's not.
I'm not even on a train right now.
I'm just asking.
You guys
questions.
gotta get down to the manufacturer. You're wasting
We're
way too
working
much
on
time
it.
not getting
Is this
to the
is this an
manufacturer.
older disc?
No.
Is this an Innova disc?
Yes.
Okay. And it hasn't won a world title?
Not to my knowledge.
Holy
Is it
smokes.
named after something with fur?
No.
Is it a whale?
So it's not a lion.
No.
Oh, I win. I'm the winner. Well, let me get one guess then.
Okay.
All right. It is a gazelle.
No.
That's an older
But
disc.
It's
is
also
it?
slower.
Is it a
disc.
Toro?
Invader.
Invader.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have ever got.
Do we want to go one more round just for funsies, or
Wait, is the
It's
Invader the
1-1.
putter?
Yeah. It's 1-1.
Oh, it is 1-1. So
I
we
think
do need to
gotta
go one more
one
round.
more.
Yeah. Okay, Konner, back to you.
All right, Trevor. In the scheme of
No, my
discs,
God.
why does that
I'm
bother
going to
you?
throw something at you.
Why does that bother you so
No,
much?
just ask it.
In the scheme of all the discs in the world, Trevor. Yeah, you get it? So from like 0, 1 speed up to like 15 speed.
Yeah.
Would you say this is a faster disc?
Yes.
In the scheme of manufacturers, is it made by Innova?
No.
I'm going to kill you. That's mean. You're a mean guy. You're a bad guy. You're a bad guy. It's not Innova, and it is not faster. Is that what you said? I can't remember now. Is it less than a 4-speed? What 4-speed or is it 4-speed or less?
No.
Okay.
Is it made by Prodigy?
I'm sorry. No.
Is it made by Discraft?
No.
Is it made by Dynamic Discs?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh. Only 6,000 discs to choose from. Is it?
Not really.
Is it slower than a 9-speed?
No. You remember now that I said it is faster?
You said it was a faster disc.
that was so funny.
Is it a part of the Saki Bomb line?
No.
Does it wish it was a part of the song?
That was your question. Let me ask.
Is it overstable?
Mm,
Oh, gonna be.
no.
Is it part of the Royal line?
No.
Is it more overstable than a? Never mind. Is it named after something in the judicial system?
In the
In the judicial / law enforcement system.
Yeah.
Is it made in Supreme plastic?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
I might just bomb one out there right now. Did you used to throw this disc?
Yes. Oh,
I know what it is.
Is it a
up on
Raider?
tee. No.
It's a sheriff.
Yeah.
I knew it. That's why I switched to law
Oh
enforcement.
man. There you go.
Well, isn't all of Dynamic Discs
Not all of
names
them.
in the judicial or law enforcement?
Well, Raider is
Yeah,
kind
Raider
of like
isn't.
you
Yeah.
can raid
Well,
something,
that's
but
all of them are. That's their whole thing.
I mean, if you picked
well,
Raider
that's not
and I
true. Well,
Dynamic.
Grace,
that's not
That's not
dynamic.
that's
Dynamic.
Latitude
I'm trying to
64, you
think.
idiot.
I feel like there's one. I mean, most of them are definitely related. I can't remember if there's any that are like
Compass.
more loose.
That's
Also
not
Latitude.
Dynamic. Yeah. Dynamic's all
Some of them are a
judicial.
little bit looser. Like obviously, like the Truth. Like yeah, it's law related, but it's.
I mean, if
A
it
lot of
was
them
a
are on the
Raider,
nose.
if it was a Raider, and I said, "Is it in the judicial or law enforcement system?" A Raider isn't in the judicial or law enforcement system
I would have probably answered no to that question.
because what is a Raider in the judicial or
Yeah.
law enforcement system?
So many
probably-
raids.
Is there someone who
yeah, like I work at the local police department. Well, what do you do there? I'm a Raider.
I'm just saying, like,
What do you? No, don't make that. What is
I'm
that?
just saying, Dynamic. That's what they do. They
I know,
don't
but
name it
what is
outside
a
of it.
Raider in the judicial
I
system?
thought your question was just like you didn't have a question, so you threw a dumb one out there because you knew
no,
they were all
no,
in
it's
the law
because I
enforcement.
knew in my head it was the sheriff, but I needed a few more.
But that's what I'm
things to
saying.
lead
I'm
to it.
pretty sure, like that's what Dynamic does.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Raider,
but the
law
Raider is
enforcement.
not in law enforcement.
Yeah, it is. Raider training, law enforcement training,
That's a website.
Raider training. No, there's a course detail. There's a separate one. Raider
It's
training.
all in caps, so it might just be an acronym.
Solo engagement tactics.
Right, but
I'm just saying. Like, that's what
Okay.
Dynamic does.
Yeah. Okay.
I know, but I still felt confident that if it was Raider, he wasn't going to say yes.
I would have said no. Yeah.
But then would have called a whole different scene because you said it was dynamic. We've just been yelling.
I don't think Raider. I think if somebody outside the context of you said, would you consider
but
Raider?
But you get why I thought he
realm?
was throwing out.
I get
I
why
thought it
you're
was a
saying
silly
that.
question.
I get why you're saying
but
that.
I now see in his strategy that it could have worked to his advantage because I would not have
What
said.
else would have?
I didn't know.
What other than the Raider?
I mean, escape.
I was trying to choose between the Raider and the
there
Sheriff.
There are some words that are like, I was thinking about like judge, sheriff, deputy. Like that's what I was thinking when he asked that question. Like I think there are some of their words that are a little bit further outside of that spectrum.
Yeah. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
But,
Yeah, well, you won. All right, in the bag, punishment list right now. We have tilt only, New London Longs, throw 100,000 feet, make 2,020 footers, Simon Lazard 150-foot challenge.
So we got to spin the wheel.
We're going to spin the wheel.
I don't want to do any of those. I don't.
So the tilt only New London. I think the worst one on here is
the tilt only New London has a definitive end, which is nice.
Yeah, I would say the one.
All of them do.
Yeah.
The
150 foot challenge one does not have a really.
That was the one you were so easy.
Let me say that one. I think could either be one of the not so bad ones, or it could be the worst by far.
It's spinning.
I think I'd rather do tilt only.
The throw 100,000 or the 2,000. I don't want those. Would suck. The 2020 foot.
I think I want tilt only.
It is make 2,020 foot putts.
That's probably the worst one.
That is the punishment for the loser here. Now prizes. Did y'all come ready? What are some prizes? Prizes. I don't really think we need to spin a wheel. I think we just kind of find a good one.
Yeah.
I had an idea for a prize. This is my only idea I brought, which is the winner of the season will be the person that's the most like the man of the people. But I don't know if we can use man of the people because Brody. But basically like a People's Choice Award stamp disc. So you get a disc stamp. So you get the royalties off of we run 100 of them.
Okay.
And that you get it's some type of People's Choice Award, man of the people, some along those. We'll figure out the exact. Because the people picked you the most.
That's selling.
Sure. Yeah.
No, that's a good idea.
Well, it doesn't matter if it sells or not. It's the prize.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Oh, we're just doing that?
I genuinely like that idea.
No, I didn't know.
I think it's a good idea.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah. The 2020 footers, because I'm trying to think. We did 20 footers for the 24-hour stream, right?
20, yes.
And I was doing, just to get a time estimate, I think by the end of that thing, I think I was making around 300 putts. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
300 putts, and that was taking me 30 to 35 minutes.
But that was also at 11 p.m.
Well, not at the beginning. It wasn't.
Well, you didn't get to 300 for a while.
I guess it took me a few hours. I'm just trying to think. So that would probably 2,000. It's taking me it's taking me
4 or 5
6
hours.
or 7. Yeah, it's probably taking 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah,
it's not a fun one.
It's not fun, but it's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad.
It's a bummer.
The 150-foot one could have been the worst on there by a long shot.
Yeah.
It could have been the easiest.
I'm tempted.
But it definitely could have been the worst. All right. Today's in the bag. We normally
can we
do
decide
this.
on, I was thinking about this earlier. Do we want to do for first place 2 points, second place 1 point, third place 0 points?
Yeah,
to keep track? Okay.
3-2 or 2-1-0.
2-1-0. Yeah.
We typically go whoever won the previous week sets the order of drafting for the next week.
Yeah.
Should we just spin the wheel to decide who sets the order today?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I just am going to use numbers because it's easier. So I'll type everyone's number. Konner,
Dibs on 2.
Okay. Connor's 2. Trevor's 1. I'm 3.
I'm number 1.
I'm number 2, like
I
poop.
really want to go first. And
I'm number
gonna
2,
go
like
first.
poop.
All right. 1. It is number 1. So Trevor decides the order.
Let me
remember,
go
it's snake draft.
Me, Hunter, Konner.
You jerk.
I knew Konner was really excited about one. He doesn't want to get taken, so I'm
Well, yeah,
him in the back.
the one. If no one chooses this one, then I think that it's just.
My first pick. So the prompt.
Prompt is things from other sports that should come to disc golf.
Okay.
that you would bring into disc golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I like this one because it's very vague.
It is very vague. I like it.
I've decided my attitude.
I thought he was talking about his. I was like, how do you know what he's about to say?
No.
My 1-1 is hockey fights.
Nice.
I thought about that one. That's a good one.
To me, I answered that because whenever I hear anybody talk about any sport, what's the one thing they want?
Yes.
It's legal fighting.
Yeah. I
You
literally
can fight,
thought about that.
and it's legal.
Trevor, but then I was scared that I was like, but disc golfers are all like buddy.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I think you can get in a fight. You take a 1 or 2 stroke penalty apiece, and we move on.
I do like that.
Yeah.
My 1 overall pick is referees.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I definitely
great.
had it. I had it on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is money from golf.
Fair enough.
A little bit of a stretch, but yeah.
Fair enough.
It's something I would take from another sport. I would take the money from golf.
Fair enough.
I had multiple of those, and everyone else like that doesn't really match it. But keep going.
Yeah, I would. It's vague.
Well, because like if we're going there, then we can go a lot of directions with that. So do we want to open that can of worms?
It's a vague category. It's a thing from another sport that he'd like to come to disc golf.
Yes.
I think, listen, if it's vague, the way I'm treating this here is if the topic is vague, I'm just going to be supportive of everybody's answer as long as it fits that prompt.
Then I'm going to change the rest of mine. I like this direction more.
But the problem is if you just go with money that like people might not love it. So you got to consider that.
I got one. Because what other sport do I want to take money from?
No, I think it's good to have one of those in there though.
That's what's going to help disc golf the most is a crap ton of money to pour into everything.
Fair enough.
All right. My next one. Travis Kelce. So that we can get Taylor Swift.
That's genius. That is.
Can I get Travis Kelce and then in parentheses Taylor Swift?
I'd say so. I mean, that's fair.
Is that fair? Okay.
Well, I mean, that's why he won. I mean, I think that's a really good pick. That is so funny.
Thank you. The Kelce brothers have a cereal. Did you guys see that?
That doesn't surprise me. That is an excellent pick, Konner. Very good.
You.
And also incredibly valid. That's one of the better picks you could actually make.
Thanks, Trev. You're really pumping me up.
That's just great. That's great work. That's a winning pick. I'm not gassing you for no reason. That's incredible.
I don't know though, because a lot of people are ticked off at the whole Taylor Swift NFL thing.
You're right. It's a back
lot
and
of
forth.
disc golfers.
There's polarity.
You're right. There's definitely polarity.
I think I don't know how many Swifties are in disc golf.
We're going to learn a lot about how
But it's good for disc golf.
We're going to learn a lot about how our followers
It was good for disc golf, but I'm just saying, I'm curious how our followers are going to look at that and be like, I don't want
just imagine
I don't want Taylor Swift coverage. I want disc golf coverage.
We're going to imagine we're at Worlds, the bleachers, the end of hole one at New London. We got Taylor Swift right there.
We're gonna
in her Discraft shirt.
We're gonna need a few weeks probably to feel out how our people vote, and then change our answers. Yeah. But that's
all right, I'm going production budget from golf.
Yeah,
yeah,
fair enough. I thought about doing the production route. Okay, my two picks. I'm gonna take European soccer fans. The just most insane fans out there. Just
I was thinking about throwing
flares onto the field. And then give me video replay challenges.
Yeah, I had the challenge flag on mine.
I had NFL fans, but I won't use it now. But I think that's a good one.
I was kind of between the two, but I'm like, usually if you say NFL fans, all the replies are just like, oh, well, you think NFL fans are crazy.
Yeah.
But it's another thing. We're just going to have to feel out our audience. Quite a few soccer fans in disc golf, though.
But the fans one, that's a good pick. That's a good answer.
Trying to think of my list as a whole because we're posting these as soon as this is over, so there's gonna be a solid 7 hours of people voting.
And the
where
beautiful
thing,
it's gonna be anonymous for a large part of it, which is gonna be beautiful.
So I'm just trying to think of.
Love it.
I need to make a full list because they don't have explanation until they're listening to this.
Correct.
So I need to make a list that all works together.
It has to make sense. Yeah.
Because I have some on here that I really want, but I just don't know if the fans want.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's
totally
tough.
fair.
I think I'm going shot clock.
That was on my list.
That's good.
That was on my list.
I think the fans are going to want that.
Yeah.
All right, Konner, your last two.
My last two. I get to put both of them up. Okay. First one, I'll save the big one for last. All right.
I like that.
We're gonna go with Formula One engineers. They're gonna develop the best disc we could imagine.
I like that.
I'm trying to think of let's get technology in disc golf and develop the perfect disc. Formula One engineers. They're gonna make the most efficient disc you've ever seen.
I was looking for an F1 thing to throw in there. That's great.
My last one. Baseball concessions.
Ah.
Yeah, I had that.
I had football.
I had thought about that, and I dropped it.
I thought
it was fun.
No, that's a good. That's a very good
walk
pick.
around the course holding nachos.
Yeah, that's a very good pick.
I was literally thinking nachos.
Pretzels.
I'm not really sure
popcorn.
why. I'm not really sure why I dropped that one. That's a very good.
Because I had
pick.
football concessions. That was my final one. I won't take it because they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Man, because some of them just aren't. I think I'm gonna go UFC face-offs.
I like that.
That's a good one.
I'll go that one. Just where the pregame.
I wanted stuff from
electric.
UFC. I was thinking because UFC can get rowdy, but I couldn't think of anything. That's a good one.
I'm going to take a different thing from Formula One.
Okay. Tires.
Formula One drama.
Yeah, I thought about taking drama.
I want the drama.
Yeah, that's good.
There you go. The other ones.
Good list.
The other ones I had, I was thinking about the UFC walk-off, but then I thought of GBO, and I was like, you know what? I've seen it. I don't want it.
I had trades written down. I thought trades would be electric.
I was gonna say football trading.
From hockey. I had the penalty box because I thought it'd be funny.
That's funny.
You football, you just got to go sit.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I also thought UFC, the fight of the night bonus, like getting a player like the round of the day bonus, you get like 10K just because you had the hot round.
Yeah.
You'd have people just throwing. Like, imagine if there was a hot round bonus, it would change the way people played. If it was high enough, like people would just be trying to birdie every single hole, no matter what.
My one honorable mention, because I only had two that I didn't say. One was NFL fans, which got canceled out by soccer fans, and then my other one was NASCAR tailgates.
Nice.
I wanted to say NASCAR fans.
Tailgate.
I wanted to say NASCAR fans.
Not a bad one.
Well, I wanted to go NASCAR tailgates because they're wild, man.
They are pretty wild.
I wanted to say NASCAR fans, but then I know a lot of people hate NASCAR fans.
That's true.
So
I think what you're gonna get, what'll be interesting in these lists, because I think these are three very good lists.
Yeah, I think they are too.
It's a lot of it's going to be how much do certain things. For example, in my list, how many people know how good European soccer fans are?
It's going to be funny.
For Konner, how many people care about baseball concessions? For Hunter, do they know about UFC? Like,
I can already tell what's going to happen later. Is like, because we post these before the episode.
Yeah.
Like everyone's going to know Trevor's list because soccer fans. Like Konner and I were never thinking soccer.
People are going to know all three of our lists.
think about soccer.
So,
well, actually, people might not. Konner's list is a little confusing because money from golf.
People might think it's me.
That's something you might say.
Because I talk about Formula One.
Yeah.
But
I think these lists are actually kind of confusing.
Whoever's in last place like 2 months from now, when they start picking to look like someone else.
That's what they do.
I'm just like, everything's just like Chelsea. What can I take from the Chelsea team?
That's what they started doing on
Christian Pulisic, please.
You start trying to make yourself look like the other person to catch
drywall mud.
Yeah. That's a good start, though. That's a fun list.
So this will be up on, if you want to vote, if you haven't voted already, it'll be on the Griplock Instagram and Griplock Twitter.
Please vote genuinely.
Yeah, you guys are able to take like educated votes.
I'm saying, like, from the heart, I do not want people to vote for my list or anybody's list just because they like that person. Like, vote whose list you
That's what's
genuinely
gonna
think is
happen.
best. I understand, but I'm just putting my statement out there. I don't want votes just because you might be a fan of
I've already
myself.
made peace. Making 2,020-foot putts is only going to take me a few hours. I'm okay with that.
I'm in it for the prize, man.
Yeah. Man of the people.
I do want
All right, Silas Selects. Don't forget what's on the line here is the Christian Tatar special.
Oh, shoot.
If you guess it right.
I'm going to guess.
You get the socks and the superhero shirt from Kristen's website. Trevor, your guess, sir.
All right, this is important. Konner, pull it together,
Connor's
man.
dead back there.
Pull it together.
All right, Trevor, what is in Silas Select?
I'm going to take... I need to lock in.
I can't think of any discs.
I'm going to take the... what route would he go? It just... trying to get into Silas' head is a losing... It's a zero-sum game.
Parachute. I want the parachute.
You dog.
Wow.
That's actually gutsy from
That
you.
is
Give me the
gutsy.
AVR.
Nice.
I'm gonna go.
I don't like the look you just gave me, Silas.
I think that it's a...
Let me be clear when I say AVR, because I think this is important. I mean like the putt-and approach DX AVR. Any other AVR does not count.
But the classic AVR is the exact same as that. Does
Right,
that
but
count?
like not a
Wait,
KC.
that's still classic AVR.
Yes. Yeah. The classic AVR mold.
The one, the DX,
It's
like the
basic
beadless.
DX.
Like, yeah.
We have DX.
Yeah.
We have Glow right now. We have
that one, not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beaded one.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with
If it's KC AVR, I'm gonna jump off
a
bridge.
Rock 3.
Rock 3.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh!
It was a Rico X.
Rico X is dirty because nobody would ever
That's a
say
great
Rico
pick.
X.
Yeah, someone might have said Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna say it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Yeah, now it's in our brain.
I'm gonna
So-
say it next week.
We're all over
no
it
one gets
now.
the Kristen Tatar package.
Dang it, dude.
You're gonna have to buy it yourself if you want it. So, all right. Well, that wraps up this week. First episode of the Offseason Griplock. Don't forget to go vote, both for our poll and tomorrow. Actually, just thought of that. Vote.
More importantly, ours, but yeah.
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 One controls the future of this podcast. The other controls the future of the company. You decide where you want to cast your vote.